Cheers friends and welcome back to the program. Today I want to talk to you about 5 essential accessories for your hi-fi setup and your vinyl setup in your house, in your room, in your listening room, in your wherever you are in your apartment. So join me along on this video and I'll let you know all of those little tips and those little 5 things that you need accessory wise to help your hi-fi setup. Coming in at number 5, inner sleeves and outer sleeves. By now you should be easily covering all your vinyl records with clear vinyl sleeves of some kind. Either it's from the store and you clean them up, your record store, or you buy specific ones from Amazon. But what's most important, I believe, is not the outer sleeves, it's the inner sleeves. And I don't really go above and beyond either. I use big Fudge inner sleeves, just inner 12-inch record sleeves, high quality acid free paper. I use paper sleeves. Why do I use paper sleeves? Because I don't want to invest a whole ton of money in inner sleeves. You never want to have the record in the original paper, which feels like it almost feels like sandpaper from the 50s and 60s. Those actual inner sleeves where you'd see all the other artists that were trending at the time. Those kinds are out. You never want to have the record in that, and you never want to have the record just in the jacket alone. You never ever want that. Ideally you want like some kind of wax paper sleeve or something that's going to be so non-abrasive to the vinyl. In my situation, I just use paper because I'm constantly rotating my collection and playing my collection. So if the paper ever loses its white and it starts to yellow, I will switch that right out with a brand new set, and I'm always constantly brushing and cleaning my vinyl if it needs a cleaning. So it's always in rotation. You never want to, I would suggest, if you're not going to listen to your collection and you're going to have a span of time, say months and years, that you're not listening, you want to be using a wax paper sleeve, which are pricier, but they're just sitting in the jacket. That's the thing of it. I skimped on the paper sleeves because I know they're important. I just personally don't feel like I need a wax paper sleeve in every single one of my pieces of vinyl. Maybe my grails and my best vinyl, of course, would have that poly-lined or wax paper sleeve. But for everything else, it's great in bulk to buy and cheap to buy the paper. Just a simple tip and something you should think about and maybe pick up. Definitely don't want to go with nothing, and definitely don't want to go with the original inner sleeve either. Let's talk about this. This is a record weight, $20, Amazon. Comes in all different kinds of shapes, colors, textures, finishes and shines. I got these silver, they come in black, they come in gold, they come in anything that you can imagine, shape, size. I just got this one. What does it do? It's a record. It's similar to a record clamp where it sits on top of your vinyl, holds it down onto the spindle a little bit. If you've got a somewhat warped record, of course it helps with warping. It holds everything down so that the warp doesn't bother the recording and your listening experience in any way. Also, it helps with bass response. Bass is a little bit less flabby with this, although with my Bose 501s, the bass is never flabby. I can always hear it pristinely, and the bass rumbles the place. I love it. As well as the treble. These are very trebly speakers, and bass is just as much equal as the treble. Especially with this, as it's supposed to cut out any flabby, mushy bass and make it more punchy. Great little accessory to have. I can't complain about it. I put it on every one of my records. It's just a better way to further the experience of knowing that your system is responding at its highest rank, in its highest quality at all times. And the way to ensure that is a record weight. Why not? It's an accessory, $20. It's fun to buy stuff for your system. What can I say? It's a riot, and it's something I look forward to, mail ordering stuff for the hi-fi setup. Up next, the Full Force Hi-Fi record mat, and this is a Cork mat. He's got a bunch of Cork mats on his Etsy shop, and that is today's shout out. Make it a little bit unique, your system, make it stand out a little bit, make it something that you could look at and admire when you pass by. The Cork is awesome looking. All the different kinds of designs of cork that he's got for these record mats are awesome looking. They come in black and white, black, brown, all different kinds of brown, light brown, dark brown, all different kinds of cork in this marbling fashion that he does. It's a great thing what he does on Etsy. Essential is to boost your bass up. That's the main function, is to also bring up that bass. And just it sits better. There's no static cling. It's better than any sort of felt mat, better than any sort of silicone mat. I love the cork. I can't complain in any way, shape, or form about these Full Force Hi-Fi record mats. I love them. Just a little way to enhance and bring about some uniqueness to your setup. Say you go to a record store and you say, oh, I want this turntable. They sell turntables. I'll pick this turntable up. No problem. Looks good. Looks in good enough shape. It's got a counterweight. It's got all the things, direct drive perhaps. And you go home, set it up. Sounds horrible. That's what happened with this. It sounded horrible when I got it. Why? Because it had been owned by a family that never changed the cartridge. And so I put on Frank Sinatra, and he sounded like he was like cutting in and out, and it sounded like it was on an AM radio. In first hearing my first own set of hi-fi gear, I was very disappointed. And so of course I'm rifling on the internet, like looking, what is the problem? It's the cartridge. They say that at least every 2 years, if you're playing vinyl once every day for a matter of 40 minutes to 2 hours a day, for the course of 2 years, you will be needing another cartridge. Why? Because the cartridge has a new needle on it. So let's open this up. I ordered it also on Amazon. Price is $30 to $40. I think it's $40. This is just the new needle, but the cartridge itself usually doesn't need to be changed. If you want to make an even bigger and more monumental footprint in your listening room, you might want to go with the Ortophon Black or Ortophon Blue or Red. Those are very popular cartridges. This I've had no problems with. I love this Stylus. This cartridge is great. It's one of the higher end Audio-Technica P-mount styluses and cartridges. The P-mount just sticks right into your arm, your arm, where the others you'd have to, set up the wires like red to blue and match that up with your stylus, with your cartridge. But this is just a P-mount. My record player calls for a P-mount, which means there's 4 sets of prongs that just clack right in. Then your cartridge is good to go. But always change the cartridge out when you're getting a new system. You want to start fresh, start new, and that's the way to do it. And this is I just bought a new stylus. This way I could start off the new year in style with a brand new needle, brand new stylus. And you can't go wrong with that. Why not, right? At a cost of $40, it's not really breaking the bank to amplify your system a little bit. If there's any nicks or dings in the stylus, if there's any issues with the stylus, if it's collected so much dust and hair, I would assume it's very susceptible to harm. And it being out in this breezeway here, I just feel as though over time it needs a new, we need a new needle every now and again. Last but not least, the Audioquest AntiStatic Brush is the way to go, and something I love. I know some people are just not for these. I don't know how you can't be for these. I really don't, because you gotta brush off any contaminants, or the contaminants are just going onto that needle, onto the stylus. And thus, over time, you'll definitely be needing to change out your stylus, because it's getting, even though you're cleaning it, it's still, maybe you'll clean your stylus, but it's still collecting a lot of dander, debris, and dust that you didn't get off when you're trying to listen to something. Plus, you might even audibly hear those dust particles, and that's not going to make for a hi-fi system in any means, by any stretch of the imagination. So, you put your hands onto these gold, it says to hold the gold contacts. So you hold these gold contacts just like this. Put your thumb on the gold contact and your other fingers on the other side, and you just brush the vinyl. Let that go around twice, 3 times, and then pull it off. Pull off the excess and then shake it like this to clean it. This is how you clean it. You never want to touch the bristles. of this brush. I usually do not ever clean it, with any sort of cleaner. I just do this, which is what you're supposed to do to clean the bristles. And it's very important brush, this thing, because you're gonna hear that kind of stuff if you don't get that dander and dust, debris. I have dogs, there's hair, you don't want any of that heard or caught in your stylus. You're gonna hear it, your music's gonna start to degrade, and you're gonna be like, why is that like that? Well, this is gonna solve that. The Audioquest AntiStatic Brush. This is the last little accessory in what you can do to amplify your hi-fi setup at home. It would be very helpful to you if you got these accessories and you started to implement them into your daily life. Make it a ritual of cleaning off the vinyl every time you play one. Get some record sleeves, outer and inner. Get some storage for your records. Get a record mat, get a record weight, get a new cartridge, new stylus when you get a new system. And that's all I gotta say, is the 5 little tips, little accessories for your hi-fi setup. So I hope you have a great listening experience. Let me know if you try any of these products, let me know what you think of it, if it helped, if it hurt, what did it do, did you like this video? If so, let me know below. I want to sincerely thank all of my new subscribers. You got me to 100 subscribers this past weekend, and I can't thank you guys enough. Really sincerely, from Stephanie and I's hearts, you yourself start lounging to a melody and let me know what you think about it. In the meantime, you can find me lounging to a melody. Take care, folks. Bye-bye. Thanks again, folks, for checking out this episode. If you do feel so inclined as to follow me on social media, you may gladly do so at Manza Media Art and Manza Media on every other platform. If you like prints, I've got an Etsy shop where you can pick up some of my original artwork and fan artwork. I'll catch you folks on the next episode of Manza Media.